Sean bienvenidos y vamos a conocer un poquito sobre el ecosistema de Brasil.
Well, first of all, a todos, I want to apologize for not doing this panel in Spanish. We're gonna do in English because some of us does not speak Spanish as well as we speak English, so decided to do the panel in English. That's okay for you? Okay, so I want to welcome Carl Amorim and Helena Margarido and Roselo Lopes, three very present guys and in the Brazilian blockchain ecosystem. We're gonna discuss interesting aspects of the Brazilian market right now, and as you can see, Brazil right now it's having a very good initiative. We're gonna have a new system of transferring money in the in November. Right now, in about 2 weeks, we're gonna have peaks, and we're gonna start doing talking about this aspect. We're gonna talk about many aspects during this 30 minutes panel, but I'm gonna start asking Roselo first. What do you think about and how do you see peaks acting as a new transfer system of money in Brazil?
Microphone.
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. I hope I can contribute with the whole panel. For those that does not know exactly what PIX is a new system that the central bank here in Brazil are providing. So people will be able to transfer money between institutions 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is amazing because now for the Brazilians, if they want to buy, for example, cryptocurrency, or they want to buy anything, they want to transfer money from one person to a company or one person to another person, it's going to be so easy. It's almost the same as doing a transferring like a Bitcoin transfer or Ethereum transaction. What I think that is going to be amazing to the country is I think I've been all over the world. I've been seeing different systems all over the world. The only one that I can see that's kind of close to exactly what the central bank here in Brazil is doing is Alipay in China, or some countries that they use Alipay, or Octopus in Hong Kong is the same situation. But the system, it's amazing because that allowed to anyone to transfer money from one point to another point 24/7, independent if it's the kind of bank or it's the same bank or a different bank. That will show the entire world what is really, really good. And also the most important part, and it is the fintech companies in Brazil now, now with this new system, finally they will have probably the same power as a normal bank are doing when it comes to payment system and when it comes to receiving money and paying services. A fintech, we're going to have the same power as a normal bank. And that helps a lot, like the banks that they do not have a banking system in place. For those people that they are doing cryptocurrency, but the banks, they don't want to deal with them. So now those guys, those users, they will be able to transact between one to another. And well, now the central bank here, they said not going to be any fee on it. So I think now for the fintech and also for the cryptocurrency company, will be a very good service. It's going to be a very good possibility for them to do transactions between each other.
Great, Roselo. Let's go ahead with Helena, please. Helena, tell your opinion about how PIX, in your opinion, in your view, is going to change or help the Brazilian market, finance market.
Well, basically, many people have asked how it could implicate, especially on the crypto, in the crypto market. So when it comes to PIX, the pain it resolves is for one to be able to do any type of payments to any financial institution at any given time, right? So when it comes to that, I believe that we are, as Rosalo has just mentioned, we are going to be one of the first countries in the world that's going to be able to have our financial system 24/7 as the crypto market. So I think that in terms of possibilities and new business models, especially related to crypto, etc., that could give us a lot of advantage for new fintechs to arise, for new businesses to arise, whether in crypto or not, but in the fintech world, uh, because we don't have that pain anymore. So I think that's brilliant what the Brazilian Central Bank has been doing. That's a brilliant way to bring the Brazilian financial system to another level, and I think that's only going to be great for the financial market and the cryptocurrencies market in the country, because even though we have one of the most advanced and technological financial systems in the world, the Brazilian crypto scenario is not that relevant yet. So I think we could have a lot to give, given that we have that type of infrastructure when it comes to traditional financial services.
Great, great, Elena. Thank you for your opinion. Carl, it's your turn.
Yeah, I think the major word here, the key word here is inclusion. We are talking about a system that could put on another level the use of crypto assets by companies and by the general public. As I say, if you want to buy Ethereum or Bitcoin, you should make a international banking transfer that could take 1 hour or 2 hours to be manually approved on a system, and that will be a problem for a company to buy a crypto or invest on a market or buy a digital asset on that. Yeah, if you're talking about instant payments 24/7, you are putting a lot of easiness to convert from fiat currency to a crypto asset to a stable coin or something like that. So we are talking about new business model. I'm being prototyped with distributed autonomous organizations a couple of years from now, and I see that on a major step, a leapfrog, I can say, on new business model, on distributed business model and processes. I'm very hopeful about the system.
Great, great to hear that from all of you. We are now going to talk a little bit about blockchain adoption. How do you see the adoption of blockchain technologies and protocol in the Brazilian market? Let's start now with Elena.
Well, the impression that I have is that everyone is studying on how blockchain could affect their businesses. Lots and lots of group studies, and even proof of concepts have been made so far, but we don't see any major adoption yet. And the impression that I have is not because there's unlike 2014 or 2017, people didn't actually know what they were getting into. Now I think they do. But the impression that I have is, especially when it comes to bigger players, it seems like they don't want to be the first one. They don't want to be the first mover. So that's the same for in terms of cryptocurrencies as investments. The traditional financial market doesn't want to be the first one to entry, but they don't want to be the last one as well. So what my impression is that we have been seeing some projects and some types of adoptions to be tried on actually on a best effort basis, but not going to implementation just yet, because there's someone that will need to be the first one, and of course that gives a lot of room to new players and new companies that are designing new new things that include blockchain as core, it gives a lot of room for them to entry, because they could be the first ones to do those case studies and actually to implement those cases, so we can have bigger companies actually adopting blockchain not only as a case study or something like that.
Okay, thank you, Elena. Carl, please, your considerations.
I'm on the pessimistic side of that. I know that people are reading the right books and coming on the wrong decisions and the wrong interpretation. Everybody's looking at blockchain as a private project. They are not talking through their supply chains or in their industries. There is no talk about creating a consortia for a specific industry and not integrating suppliers and clients. And all these big companies are creating their private proof of concepts, trying to kind of close the market and create an entrance barrier for new technologies on that. I think Brazil has a lot to learn from other countries and other regions. I'm not seeing the willing. I tend to agree with Elena when I see this expecting movement. Like, let's see who's get in trouble first, and then we get the other way to do it.
Okay. Joselo, it's your turn.
Yeah, it's amazing, but I'll add something else on that one too. We can't, like Elena said, we've seen a lot of companies, they are talking about, okay, how do I implement blockchain in my business? But every time when someone comes to me and then asks, like, what should I do? 99% of those companies, they don't need blockchain. That's simple. So a lot of companies out there, they just say, I want blockchain just because everybody's talking about blockchain. Well, but in your business, you don't need it. So, and then also, like Carl said, a lot of people say, like, let's see who's going to get shot first. So they let the guy get shot first. Then after that, we see what we can do. So we can see a lot of companies, they are doing that as we speak. But we know a lot of companies all over the world, they are trying to find models. They are trying to implement models of blockchain. So, and right now in Brazil, for those that does not know, we are having an election in Brazil right now. So we are on the municipality, and could be a way for us to already be testing some kind of voting system in a blockchain. Supposed to be amazing to do that. Even in America now, they are choosing their president. Well, supposed to be a perfect way to do that. But we are just seeing a lot of projects, a lot of tries, and nothing actually real happening. Well, and also then we have registration. We have a bunch of solutions that we can actually use blockchain to do it, but we are not seeing. I think I have to agree with Carl when he said that I think most of companies are waiting to see who's going to get shot first, then they're going to do something after that. So hopefully all that someone in the world is going to show us how to do voting on top of blockchain. Someone is going to show us how to do, but usable, not something that is in lab, something that is usable and then we can use. But just for it to finish, we cannot rush that. Blockchain, we only have 11 years. Rushing something is not, we're not in a point to say we need that just like that. If you're just thinking about it, technology take a little while to be implemented in a large scale on a mainstream. So we cannot ask too much because it's too soon.
Yeah, I think I want to put something in top of that to create some discussion. I think we don't have business modelers yet. We have developers, but we don't have people who can understand what the blockchain can do with their process and their business model to adopt it. So what they're doing is trying to get this new solution on old problems and doing on old way. And since the Bible, they say you cannot put new wine on old recipient. The recipient will broke and you lose the wine. So, and that's how I feel. They got this system that it's working, and they're trying to do what that system is doing on blockchain. I told them, I stay with SAP for a centralized system. They are far better than blockchain for that.
Okay, very good opinions, the three of you. I'd like to say also that we're seeing many blockchain great applications coming abroad. I mean, obviously that the first companies that 20 years ago started, or 25 years ago started with the internet and believe in the internet and e-commerce especially, are now the big players in this area. So we're going to see the big players in blockchain area also from the companies that already understand what they can accomplish and do with the technology. But going ahead a little bit now, let's talk about the big players. Rossello asked me to put this on the table. The big players that now are coming to the blockchain, to the market. I mean, big companies that years ago was like blockchain is just something that we are not looking now. Now the big players are coming to the game. So I want to hear what you think about.
Who's the first?
Okay, Rossello, you were the one that put the question, so you're the first.
All right, thank you very much for that. Well, definitely, if you just look in the past, when the internet on 1994, 1995, I think all of us, we've been there, except Elena because she's too young. And but all of us, we are part of this thing. When we started, everybody was saying this is just a toy. This is just to kids to. It's just to send a message. Look at now. Can someone survive without internet? I don't think so. So that's what on the blockchain, same thing happened. I think the big banks or the big financial institutions or even the registrars all over the world and lots of companies that use blockchain. They were trying to refuse that for some time, but now that's it. Is there, have to jump on it. And then, of course, we are seeing like the DBS Bank in Singapore. They already jump on that. MIG Bank, just I found out today that MIG Bank also is developing their own exchange. So very soon, we're going to be seeing a bunch of banks doing the same job as the crypto exchanges are doing all over the world. And then another point that everyone is talking about, well, the CDBC thing, but also let's be just the right name that we all know. Those stable coins. Very soon we're going to be seeing stable coins for group like the one that is from that for the oil coin and or soya coin. We're going to be a bunch of institutions developing their own coin for that their own thing. Those coins can be stable. When I'm saying stable, it's not because it's stable paired with US dollars or paired with euros. Can be paired with oil barrel, can be paired with soya grain, can be paired with anything, but also in the same moment, this is stable. So we are seeing a lot of companies coming for those things. And most important, the big players, they saw that opportunity and now they are buying. We see Grayscale, we see PayPal, all those guys are jumping on this technology. It's not because it's money there. Of course, it is money there. See more than that is the future, number one, and most important is going to be the real tokenization is blockchain. I do not talk much about I think Carl can talk much than me. He knows way more than I. But I think players are coming.
Oh, please.
Yes. Saying that, we have made some studies on BRI about tokenization, and we have created all this taxonomy about the tokens and their business model. And what we see is when a company understands that you can have stable coins, you can have natural asset coins, you can have different types of tokens, and they change according to the business model, their role, you see experimentation on the tokenization process. And we are already seeing people talking about what was said, a soy token. But what the soy token can mean, we each farmer will have his own soy token. We're going to have a soy token for the whole market. We will need a consortia for that. And what I see from these big players like FedEx, like other cheap shipping companies, is looking at DHL and other 500 companies. We're talking with the oil and gas blockchain consortia. We're helping the government association, the Chamber of Digital Commerce. We're seeing that. We're seeing outside that standards are being created. And when this is in place, you are seeing this intermediate sort of assets that will be marketed, that will be purchase and selling on open spaces, not the New York Exchange or in the Brazilian B3, but this is going to be on your cell phone, and you're going to be trading it using our PIX payment system. So it's going to be a very, very, very dynamic, and it will be a dramatic change that you're going to see that in 18 months tops here in Brazil.
Great. Elena, what's your opinion about how the big players coming to the game?
Well, just adding to the tokenization and what Carl was saying, I think that once companies in general realize the number of problems and new businesses that can be created only because of tokenization, you automatically look to implementation, to blockchain, contracts, to everything. So when it comes to, I totally hello. We have a type of big players that they support, that they are okay with that. For instance, PayPal, because realize what to do, and that's going to of money in a year, and it could no longer, and those companies. Oh, I'm to a proper case about AML. We have stressed, discussed, etc. And we have rulings on the SEC, on the U.S. courts regarding Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and other type of uses of cryptocurrencies, as in the ICO's cases. So that's that's a nation discussion. That's no longer an excuse for you to be out of that market. So once you realize the number of opportunities that you're leaving at the table only because you have decided 3-5 years back that you were not going to take a look at those types of technologies back then, it's not justifiable anymore. So when it comes to tokenization, I strongly agree that we have a lot to build and to be built on the top of blockchains only because of tokenization. I don't think that's the only, nor the killer application for blockchains. But I can draft a business model using tokenization at least once a day. To something that I see and no one else is seeing, and say, okay, how come that's possible? So those are the number of opportunities that are on. Be my guest, choose one, do something.
Exactly.
So that's what I see. I think that in terms of their movements, that's only positioning, basically, because they needed to change their statuses that have been given like 5 years ago or 3 years ago. They no longer have any types of concerns that have not been addressed or discussed, and already have been surpassed. To be quite honest.
Okay, okay. Elena, thank you very much. We are almost in the end of our panel here. Obviously that we have a lot more to talk about, but we have 30 minutes, we have 3 minutes more. And I'm going to put one question that Daniel Truque asked for us. He's asking, who is running the infrastructure for Brazil's new RTGS system? I believe that is the money transfer system. I would assume it's Banco do Brasil, since I am assuming it's not a decentralized system run by multiple banks, or is it? So I believe that Rossello can answer that.
Well, yeah, the system is it's controlled by the central bank, and the central bank, the way they are doing. Remember, Banco do Brasil is a governmental bank, but they also have part on their shares on the market. So there is a private money on Banco do Brasil as well. So it's not 100% a bank that belongs to the government. The only one that 100% belongs to the government is Caixa Econômica Federal. Banco do Brasil, they're developing the entire system. Of course, there is companies that they are providing the services. They are developing all the system, but it's 100% controlled by the central bank. That is the only that us from the crypto world, we do not agree, because it's not your private key, it's not your money. So yeah, great that the system is there, 24/7 available, but is not your money because you do not control the private key. But just one last 10 seconds I'll add on this thing. The beauty about it will allow the Brazilian government to also export this system to the ones next, like Brazil, Argentina, or Paraguay, or Uruguay. They're also going to be able to use the same system and have our currency on that country.
Great, great, Rossello. First of all, thank you for all of you that make part of the panel. Thank you for all the audience also that were listening to us. Brazilian ecosystem, blockchain ecosystem is very happy and very pleased to be here in the Blockchain Summit Latam. Thank you for Cristobal and all the guys that put this in the market and are doing a great job. Thank you very much for your time, and thank all of you for being together to discuss these aspects for the development of the blockchain system. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye, folks.
Hope to see you soon in person.
Bye, guys.
Yeah,
Bye,
yeah,
guys.
me too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.